Okay, hello Cloud Gurus and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we're going to take a quick look at the AWS Marketplace and what security products are available for us. So you will need to log into the AWS console. So I'm logged into the AWS console. To get to the Marketplace, we just go over to EC2. And then what we want to do is go ahead and launch an instance. And just like when we create our own AMIs, those AMIs are private. We could share them out to the community, and some people will sell their AMIs through the AWS Marketplace. So if we click on AWS Marketplace, we can see there's a whole bunch of different vendors down here. And so if we scroll down here, we've got some featured software. This is Splunk for cloud monitoring. This is Barracuda for basically firewall software. Same with Juniper Networks. So we already see that we have got some security products. If we scroll all the way down, it's broken down into the different categories. So we want security, which is down here. And we've got 383 security products. So go through and have a read. I mean, basically going into the exam, you just have to be aware that you can purchase this, you can purchase third-party AMIs from the marketplace that are pre-configured. You can basically sort by operating system, or you can sort by the way the billing works. The billing could either be free, hourly, monthly, or annual, or you bring your own license. So the software itself is free, but you need to actually go purchase a license from the vendor. And we have a whole bunch of different, products. It's not just firewalls. It could be anything. Here's a version of Kali Linux. Kali Linux is basically used to do advanced penetration testing and security auditing. I use it actually to do stuff with Wi-Fi, which I probably won't say what I do. But no, so you've got a whole bunch of different AMIs that are available. One that is worth checking out, if we scroll down, see if I can find it. Here it is, the Center for Internet Security. So this is a AMI. It's a Red Hat Enterprise level Linux 7, and this is benchmarked to level 1. So what does that mean? Well, if we click in here and go to our more info, we can actually launch the landing page for this product. And basically, the Center for Internet Security, it may ring a bell to you. We were using it in our AWS Inspector labs, where we were using it as one of our rules packages. So we were seeing whether or not it met the Center for Internet Security's standards. And I'll actually just quickly show you what those standards are. So if we scroll down to the resources section, you'll be able to click in here. That will open you up onto the Center for Internet Security's landing page. And then you can go down through here and hit download the benchmarks. You'll have to fill in your details here. Do give a real email address because they will email you the link to be able to access it. It is worth seriously checking out and having a read as to how detailed it is. I'll quickly show you what I've downloaded. So here is the Center for Internet Security distribution for independent Linux. So this is how to harden it, the operating system, to a level 1 that CIS have basically agreed upon within the community. So if we scroll all the way down, it'll take a while, but here are all the different, recommendations. So run the following commands and verify the output is indicated. So you run those commands, and then you want that output. If you don't, then you have to go in and run this install vfat /bin/true. Now there is literally, I think this document is 371 pages. So you could spend probably a week or two going through and making sure you're compliant to this. Or you could actually just purchase this AMI, which is already compliant to level 1. Somebody has gone through and done all the recommendations and then created this AMI, and now you can use it, and it will cost you 2 cents an hour. So that is, can save you a lot of time. So you just need to be aware of that going into your exam, that instead of having to do everything yourself, there are, third-party suppliers and vendors on the AWS Marketplace that do sell security products and can make your life a lot easier. So where will you see this in your exam? Well, you are going to get scenario-based questions, and the answers to those scenario-based questions can all be correct, at least from a technical point of view. So let's do an example. Let's say you're getting hacked. You've got a Windows instance, it's sitting up in the cloud, someone keeps trying to RDP into that instance, and they're doing brute forcing. So they're just guessing the username administrator, and then they're just trying a whole bunch of random passwords. Now, you could stop this by blocking their IP address. But let's say they change their IP address all the time. So one minute they're in North Korea, next minute they're in Australia, next minute they're in the US, next minute Russia, next minute China, blah, 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 blah. You could keep going into your network ACLs and blocking those IPs. That is technically a correct thing that you could do. The issue with that is it's a huge amount of overhead, and they might not ever use the same IP address twice. Another answer to this is you could go over to the AWS Marketplace and you could get an IDS or IPS AMI that basically protects against exactly that. And it's intelligent enough to learn what IP addresses it's using, block those automatically, and then basically learn the style of the attack. So maybe that it just blocks by default anyone trying to log in with the administrator credentials, something like that. So that's where you're going to see it in your exam. It's going to be scenario-based questions. And to be honest, if you can use the AWS Marketplace and it saves you an awful lot of time, that's probably going to be the correct answer. The others might be technically correct. You could, like I said, go in, use network ACLs. Maybe it's cross-site scripting. You could go in and use the off-the-shelf WAF, but there might be something special about this cross-site scripting attack that the off-the-shelf WAF stuff doesn't do. Maybe you want a AWS Marketplace WAF that has a whole bunch of custom rules that you can use, something like that. So when you see these scenario-based questions in the exam, do check if one of the answers is using the Marketplace security products, and just ask yourself, is that a better solution? Will that handle everything for me compared to just blocking network ACLs, etc.? Okay, so what have we learned so far? So we've learned that you can purchase security products from third-party vendors in the AWS Marketplace. These security products can be anything from firewalls to hardened operating systems to web application firewalls to antivirus servers to security monitoring, etc., etc. Do go through and have a read at all the different products. Just have a glance over them. Do remember that there are different revenue models. So some of them are free, some of them you pay by the hour, some by the month, some by annual. You could also bring your own licenses, etc. And you should also just be aware, I did call this out, the Center for Internet Security, their OS hardening. I would, if I was you, just go visit their website, read about how they come up with these rules. They are all community sourced, and it is, this is a very well-known benchmark within the security industry. Download one of their white papers and just have a read as to how, all the different steps taken to harden an operating system, and then be aware that you don't have to do this yourself now. You can actually just go out and purchase it on the AWS Marketplace. So that is it for this lecture, guys. In the next lecture, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the AWS Web Application Firewall, both from a theoretical and a very hands-on practical point of view. Going to connect it up to an application load balancer and just have a look at see how the technology works. So if you've got the time, join me in the next lecture. Thank you.